ZIIDI Money Market Fund by Safaricom and its three other partners came into existence or creation in December 2024, and by today it has amassed a whopping over 2.8 billion Kenya shillings worth of assets under management from its over 450,000 members to that money market fund. On the other side, we have Etica Money Market Fund, which was started in February 2023, and it has amassed over 6 billion worth of assets under management from its over 90,000 members to that fund. Today, we are comparing these two money market funds. We are looking at their fund fact sheets, and deeper we'll go into details between these two money market funds. And do you believe that ZIIDI Money Market Fund is better than Etica Money Market Fund because its deposits and withdrawals to and from mpesa are free of charge? We'll be looking at those details and others. In the meantime, we'll begin by exhausting the fund profiles of these two money market funds. And from this schedule, we are looking at the Etica Money Market Fund profile and ZIIDI Money Market Fund profile. And the first one is the fund names, where the first for Etica is Etica Money Market Fund and ZIIDI is ZIIDI Money Market Fund. The two funds are in Kenya shillings currency. The Etica Money Market Fund inception was in February 2023, while the ZIIDI one was in December 2024. The managers or the fund manager is Etica Capital Limited for Etica Money Market Fund, and ZIIDI Money Market Fund has three fund managers, that is the Standard Investment Bank, Allah Capital, and Sanlam. The two money market funds or the fund managers, in this case, they are all regulated and registered by the Capital Markets Authority. The fund ecosystem for Etica Money Market Fund, we have looked at the fund manager who is Etica Capitals Limited. The custodian is Equity Bank. The trustees are the Cooperative Bank, and the auditors are RSM East Africa. The fund ecosystem for ZIIDI Money Market Fund, having looked at the fund managers, that is the Standard Investment Bank, Sanlam, and Allah Capital, the custodian is SBM Bank, that is State Bank of Mauritius. Then we have KCB Bank Limited, and it shares the same auditor as Etica Money Market Fund, that is RSM East Africa. These two money market funds, they do compound on a daily basis. The management fee for Etica Money Market Fund is 2% per annum, while the ZIIDI Money Market Fund management fees are slightly higher at 2.35% because of the extra custodial trustee fees that are charged separately. The two money market funds do not charge initial redemption and fees. Locking periods for the two money market funds are optional because generally money market funds are not supposed to have a locking period. And in any case, a fund manager creates a money market fund with a locking period that needs to be expressly stated to the investors before they do their investments. Benchmark rates for the Etica Money Market Fund is on 91-day Treasury bill plus 1%, while the ZIIDI Money Market Fund is benchmarked on the 91-day Treasury bill. The average returns for the Etica Money Market Fund for the year ended 2024 was 17.6%, and for ZIIDI Money Market Fund, having started in December 2024, we are looking at what would be the average annual return in year 2025. The minimum investment for the two funds is 100 shillings, but we'll be looking at a slight actual difference when it comes to the minimum investments when we are comparing the differences between the two funds. While top-ups are the same at 100 shillings, while the assets under management, as we had stated, for Etica Money Market Fund is over 6 billion, while for the ZIIDI Money Market Fund is over 2.85 billion, and the members, the investors to these two money market funds, for Etica is over 90,000, and for ZIIDI is over 450,000 members. We'll be looking at the further differences or details between these two money market funds in the next 3 seconds short break. Welcome back to our in-depth analysis of Etica Money Market Fund and the ZIIDI Money Market Fund. A fact that to transfer money from your mpesa to ZIIDI and ZIIDI back to mpesa is free, and I agree with that. But as an investor who loves details, because in investment analysis, you have to look into the details. Most retail investors are generating negative returns when it comes to their retail investments because of lack of looking into the details. To expound on that and look at the reality, then we'll have to use this tabulation. And my tabulation, I've taken Safaricom mpesa platform. Safaricom is a telco that has diversified its investments into the finance sector, but is not regulated or registered as a financial institution. So on the Safaricom mpesa platform, there are numerous accounts. You have an mpesa account, you have mshwari account, you have your ZIIDI account, you have your Mali account, you have other accounts like the Fuliza account or core account. And therefore, that is a platform that consists of numerous accounts. Compare that one with the Etica platform. On the platform, on the Etica platform, you will have the Etica Money Market Fund account, you have Etica Fixed Income account, you have the Etica Special Fund account A, B, and C. You also have Etica Money Market Fund account in dollars, fixed income account in dollars, and that will form the Etica platform composing of numerous accounts. Let's compare that one with what we have in a bank setup. In the Equity Bank platform, you can have numerous accounts. You can have multiple accounts. Personal account A, personal account B. You have your spouse's account, a junior account. You can have your business account and other accounts relating to other stakeholders that you're doing business with. So it is generally agreeable that when you are transferring funds from one account to another account on the same platform, it's free of charges. If you think otherwise, tell us in the comment section. M-Pesa platform. If you are transferring money from your M-Pesa to mshwari and back to M-Pesa, to ZIIDI and back, to Mali and back, those transactions are free because they are on the same platform. In your bank, in my equity account, when I transfer money from my account A to my second account and back, if I transfer money from my business account, my personal account and back, or I pay another person account within the same bank platform, I'm charged zero money. It's free of charge. The same with a fund manager, and our example here is Etica. Etica platform, if I wanted to diversify my investments and push a part of what I'm holding in my money market fund to a fixed income fund or to the special fund, it will not be charged. It will be free of charges. That is a general. But before one of us challenge me in the comment section that when you are transferring money from your bank account to another bank account within the same platform, you are charged 2 shillings. This is the reason. A bank is a financial institution and registered as such and regulated as such. The fund manager is an asset manager registered and regulated as such. Safaricom is a telco company registered as such and regulated as such, and therefore it's not a financial institution. The bank transactions are exercisable transactions. In other words, there is a tax element that is charged on every transfer. within a banking setup. And therefore, the 2 shillings that you are incur transferring within the same bank, that is the exercise duty, which will not apply to Safaricom because Safaricom is not regulated and registered as a financial institution. And the same with the fund manager. So our recharges with respect to that, we are overlooking that small element of the exercise duty. And that is to open up our thinking beyond the fact that transferring within the platform, ZIIDI to mpesa and mpesa to ZIIDI, is free. Then look at the bigger picture. Getting your money on the platform for investment. Getting your money onto the mpesa platform, what are the charges? Getting your money on Etica platform, what are the charges? Getting your money on the bank platform, what are the charges? Those are the charges that you're supposed to be looking at. The charges with respect to the channel that you're using to deposit your money for investment. For an example, when our salaries are paid, generally, salaries are paid to bank accounts because that is what bank accounts are for, transactional purposes. So I will transfer my money from my bank account to Etica platform, or in whichever account I'm holding with Etica as a fund manager. I will transfer my money from my bank account to mpesa for purposes of investing in whatever account of my choice, be it Mshwari, be it ZIIDI, be it Mali, or whatever. So those are the respective transactions or costs that we are supposed to be looking at. And not getting blinded by that small fact of the platform charges. To transfer money on the platform, there are different ways. I can have cash in my pocket, which I want to put on board on Etica platform. I'm the one to make the choice whether to deposit the money directly into Etica custodial bank account. I can deposit the money into my bank account, then transfer to Etica bank account. I can also put it in mpesa as a channel and deposit into my Etica account. I'm the one as an investor who is supposed to analyze the specific costs related to all those channels, then choose the channel that serves me best, because I might also have to consider other factors beyond the cost. Are the other channels available conveniently to me for the application? If I have my cash in my pocket, for ZIIDI, it's either I can transfer money from my bank to mpesa, I can deposit what I have in cash to mpesa directly, then transfer to ZIIDI account, and those are choices that are to be made by the investor. So don't get blinded by the small fact that transferring funds from one account to another account on the same platform being free, that is free, and that to you makes you choose ZIIDI over other money market funds on account of that small fact. You'll be getting it wrong. Another thing that is very important when it comes to charges to look at is now the platform charges. And platform charges is what we get charged as investors on the platform. And in this case, we are referring to the charges relating to the investor ecosystem, which we normally call the management fees. The regulator caps the management fee at 2.5%. No fund manager can charge for an ordinary fund account beyond 2.5%. But for special fund accounts, that can be pushed to 10%. Now, with regard to that one, because that is the 2% is what pays the parties related in the ecosystem. The fund manager has to be paid, the custodian has to be paid, the trustee has to be paid, the auditor has to be paid. So Etica charges are 2%, which is all inclusive. ZIIDI will charge 2% for the fund managers and auditor included, then charge a 0.5 and 0.2% respectively for the trustee and custodian. And that effectively makes the platform charge for ZIIDI at 2.35%. We have looked at initially at the transfer onboarding charges relating to transferring your money on the platforms. Then there is the platform charge, that is a management fee. 2% in Etica, and 2.35% in ZIIDI. Then once you look at the platform charges, because that is basically what distinguishes the rating return between these two fund managers. Because if the fund manager go out and get investments that give us 17%, for example, the management fee has to be deducted from that directly. And therefore, that would mean if you get 17 minus 2% in Etica, that leaves Etica giving us a return of 15%. On the other side for ZIIDI, at the same amount of 17, they will have to deduct 2.35. And that will leave the fund giving us 14.65%, giving us that difference. Majorly, that difference in management fee charge is what will generate that difference or disparity in the return. But up and above that, and having considered that it is a prerogative of the investor to determine or to choose a channel for onboarding, but the management fee being a property, a characteristic, an attribute given for that specific fund is known in advance by the investor. Then there is another thing that we need to look at, and that is the locking feature. Generally, money market funds are supposed to be free of locking period as a regulation. And in case the fund manager design is money market fund product with a locking period, that feature should be communicated to the investors through the prospectus to make the information available before the investor comes on board. The locking feature in ZIIDI is very much different from the locking feature in Etica. Etica locking feature applies to the entire account. When you lock, you are locking your money market fund account, not a specific amount of money. And that feature in the Etica money market fund is a security feature. And that is the reason why, as an investor, you are able to lock your account through the application or the web portal. But to unlock the account, you have to involve the fund manager. You have to do a short email to the fund manager. You can do a WhatsApp or a call to the fund manager, and they will unlock the account or allow you access to the account freely. The reason for that involvement of the fund manager in unlocking is to make sure that the party who is unlocking to access the money is not an unauthorized person. It's you. And we look more details when we will be looking at the security features of the two money market funds. When you look at ZIIDI locking feature, the locking feature in ZIIDI money market fund account does not apply to the account itself. It involves transferring a part of the amount that you are holding in your ZIIDI money market fund account to a separate account, setting it apart, which means that you can still continue depositing in ZIIDI account and accessing that amount, but the locked portion will not be accessible. Then, if you are to unlock it, which is permitted from your end without involving the fund managers, then it will take you 72 hours. That is 3 days of waiting for that money to land in your mpesa account. And going by the feedback that we are getting, members of ZIIDI money market fund who have previously locked their funds are experiencing a lot of challenges in that money coming back to their ZIIDI account or the mpesa account. And the other challenge is on interest. The locked portions have problems with interest accumulation. And as a channel, we believe ZIIDI being a product that is in the market with in less than 2 months old, then that should be attributable to a teething issue. It can be resolved. But as we shall be looking on the security feature, we will have more to say about those locking features. But the two locking features are wide different, and for Etica money market fund, the accessibility once the account you have reached out to the fund manager, it's immediate. While on the other side, you'll have to wait for 3 days to access those funds. The other part is creation of your account. creation of your account. And this speaks to the target market. ZIIDI Money Market Fund is a product that is tailored to target the existing mpesa subscribers within Safaricom platform. And therefore, because they have already been vetted, the information, their KYC details and everything has been vetted at the point of creating their mpesa account. Their IDs and any other detail has been vetted at the point of creating their mpesa accounts. Creating any additional account within the mpesa platform, you will not be required to provide further information or documentation. For that reason, to create your Mali account, to create your ZIIDI account, M-Shwari account, you only need to access the mini application for that particular product and opt in. That is to say that you have an account that already exists within the platform. It only awaits you to opt in. If it's Fuliza or M-Pesa subscribers have a Fuliza account, the point is at the point you opt in or opt out of that specific product. The same will apply for Etica, because no member of public existed on any Etica platform. This being a new investment solution provider, then once you are creating your first account, whether you are coming on board with a money market fund as your first account, or a fixed income fund as your first account, or a special fund as your first account, creating your first account, you'll be required to provide all the documentation. You need your passport, you need your ID, both sides, you need your KRI PIN, you need proof of owning a bank account, and your other KYC information. Once that has been created and you are on the platform, accessing any other account on the platform, you will not be required to provide additional information. So as a first-time investor, for Safaricom, because it is based on your existence on the M-Pesa platform, then you have an account that you need to opt in. If you have not been on Safaricom, I don't have an M-Pesa account, then you are outside the target people for that particular product. But the ZIIDI Money Market Fund is open and target every person who has attained a maturity age and able to save and invest. The very important thing that we need also to consider is security and customer care. And options that look into security in details, we are looking at your PIN, personal identification number, that allows you access to your account. This is the detail that protects your investment in those accounts. If you compare the PIN numbers required for Etica and what is required under Safaricom, they are two worlds apart in terms of their strength. For ZIIDI Money Market account and any other account on the M-Pesa platform, it requires 4 numeral values as your PIN number. Only 4 numeral values. But if you look at the money market, when you look at Etica platform, you are required to have a PIN number of 8 characters at the minimum, which are supposed to be mixed with numeral values, alphabets, and special characters. That makes that PIN stronger compared to what you will have on ZIIDI Money Market Fund. Strength of your security details is what primarily protects your capital on those platforms. And in addition to the strength of your PIN number, then we also look at the verification of the person who's trying to access your account. And that brings us to the second security feature, and that is the OTP. OTP is one-time PIN. Every other time you need to access your account, the system has to verify whether it is you, the legitimate owner of that investment, who is trying to gain access to those resources. And for that reason, Etica platform sends an OTP PIN before you log in into your account. You can provide the correct client name, you provide the correct PIN, but you miss on the token, the OTP token, you will be denied access to that account on presumption that you are not the legitimate owner of that account. But when you look at Safaricom's ZIIDI account that relies on mpesa 4-numeral PIN, it does not require any additional verification to allow access to your account. And that now further builds into the weakness in terms of security and protection, security of your investment on the platform. That third aspect is the two-step verification. Any online wallets, any online platforms today, they require the two-step verification for your security or for the security of your assets on those platforms. Two-step verification requires a verification of your email and a verification of your mobile number. And for that reason, it is the verified email or the verified mobile number that receives the OTP. So that means then on the side of ZIIDI, because the two-step verifications you are required before you onboard on Etica Money Market Fund, you have to verify your email address, you will verify your mobile number for purposes of receiving those OTPs. That feature is absent on the ZIIDI platform, and that further weakens the security of your investment on that platform. Then the other one is access to customer care, access to somebody who can address your complaints in case you have identified some illegal activity in your account, in case you want to inquire where interest has not been loaded or credited into your account, or any other complaint relating to your investments. ZIIDI has a wide array of channels which are 24/7 you can use to access the fund manager. But out of experience, because we are all on by default, we have found ourselves on the giant telco Safaricom, you can tell how difficult it is to access their highly digitized customer service if you want to put forward such a complaint. And that does not negate or make ZIIDI a poor or bad investment vehicle, but it can speak to the tune of the amount. Sensitivity of the investment vehicle can speak into the amount that I would want to risk, amount that I would want to place on different platforms. Many investors would also think of the number of years that this fund manager has been in business as one main feature of looking into the strength or they are building up onto the risk exposures and determining how much they would want to expose to such fund managers. Therefore, as it is very important to hold these two accounts, because as a recommendation, as a channel, I would recommend you hold an Etica investment account and you also hold the ZIIDI investment account because of the nature of the reasons why we hold money. We need money for immediate needs. Such is what we are holding in our wallets, in our purses, in our bank accounts, sitting there in those accounts idle. But once such amount I put them in ZIIDI money market fund through mpesa, they will be able to earn or grow based on the returns that are daily compounding on that platform. But we have other reasons to hold money in sinking funds, emergency funds for short-term goals, long-term goals, and medium goals that as the money builds would require more security and more avenues that securely grow that capital. And probably that is the reason I would advise you need to hold an Etica money market fund or an Etica investment vehicle. And at that point, if you're interested in creating your Etica money market fund account or Etica fixed income fund account or any other account within Etica, it is easy to create your account. Go to the comment section and click the link in the first pinned comment and it will take you directly to the platform where you key in your details, the required details, and choose whatever account that you want to create. If you want to create your account in ZIIDI Money Market Fund, then download the mpesa application into your phone, and under financial services, identify the ZIIDI mini applications. Open that application and opt in, and that way you will have created your ZIIDI Money Market Fund account. If you do not have a phone that can hold the application, if you are dependent on the USSD code, then dial *334#. And item number 5 under financial services, you will be able to complete the details and create your ZIIDI Money Market Fund account. After looking into the security features and determining how much one can expose to these investment vehicles, then it's also important we look at averagely what are investors putting on these platforms. And that one would require we look at the total assets under management on these platforms and the total number of members or investors on the platform. Etica platform is holding assets under management in excess of 6 billion. And those assets have been put together or assembled from over 90,000 members or investors. Looking at the total assets under management, that is a 6 billion, and the total members or investors on that platform, that is the 90,000 members, then that gives us an average of 66,600 as the average amount per investor. On the side of ZIIDI Money Market Fund, the total assets under management are in excess of 2.85 billion, and these assets have been assembled from over 450,000 investors. That will give us an average investment by investor amounting to 6,340 thereabout. So looking at those average holding by investor, then that would speak into the exposures and the amount that are being held in these accounts, and therefore it's advisable. ZIIDI should be for your long time the amount of investments compared to ZIIDI Money Market Fund that could considerably be holding what you need for your immediate concern, or by virtue what you have been holding in mpesa accounts. Instead of keeping it in the mpesa, you hold it there such amounts in ZIIDI Money Market Fund, because as opposed to mpesa where that money is idle, and a ZIIDI Money Market Fund account, they will start growing, and probably at the time where you need that money to be transferred, the increase in those amounts due to the interest will be sufficient to take care of the transactional costs for those transfers. Lastly but not least, let's look at the reality of minimum investment in these two platforms. Practically, if you have an Etica Money Market Fund account, try sending 50 shillings to that platform, and you'll be surprised that your 50 shillings will be accepted into your account. While try doing the same on ZIIDI Money Market Fund, and such amounts will be rejected, and you'll be notified that the minimum has to be 100 shillings to ZIIDI Money Market Fund account. That means that Etica Money Market Fund account is more inclusive compared to ZIIDI Money Market account, and doesn't mean that it's a breach of feature. Practically, I've seen 50 shillings or less than 100 is going through when you deposit in the ZIIDI Money Market Fund account, while it is being rejected on the other side. Those are some but a few details that gives you an in-depth details analysis to distinguish or to bring the disparity between these two money market accounts for your choice. But you are free to do more of your research to form your decisions. Again, to create your Etica Money Market Fund account or any other account within Etica, check the comment section. The first pinned comment as a link. That is a recommendation from this channel. Click that link and it will take you to the application, complete creating your account, and you have started off your investing journey. For ZIIDI Money Market account, download the mpesa application, and under financial services, open the ZIIDI mini application and opt in into a ZIIDI Money market account. If you need to use the USSD code, it is *334#. Under function number 5, under financial services, create your ZIIDI money market fund account. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.